Now, here is the new segment, and I'm going to tell you why I put this segment on. During the holiday season, um, I was trying to put on a bunch of shows, do reruns and things like that. And some of the shows I had to monitor, just to make sure we don't have any trolls or anything that comes through. Um, which thanks a lot. Nobody did. Thank you. But I was probably drunk on somebody else's platform making their life. So thank you for that too. But as I was looking through some of the shows, I was like, oh wow, I remember that. Oh, wait a minute. Ooh, that was, and it was some stuff that we did in the past that was just laughable and we're cracking up and we just enjoyed ourselves. So I was thinking, why don't I create a whole new segment called Remembering the Past. We are literally going on 5 years, over 1,000 videos. And we have grown over the years. Our thought process, our beliefs have changed over the 4 years, and it has. You just don't want to admit it because you changed on what of. So I want to start having a segment where we look back on some of the segments that we talked about and see if these have changed. If our thoughts are exactly the same, and the funny thing about it is, it may not have changed at all, but it may be a point where you go, "Ooh, but I wish I would have said this too," or they was kind of confused at what I was saying, so if I changed it to say this, then I'd have got my point across. Give you the opportunity. Now that is the front page of why I'm doing it. The back page, it's getting harder and harder to find segments for the other ones. So yeah, let me go ahead and do this too. Tomorrow there gonna be a second new segment on the show for the same reason. I'm finding it harder and harder to find stuff. So here is our first remembering the past story. Let's get into Am I the A-hole, in which I am going to fully admit that I was absolutely wrong. I misspelled the crap out of that for the longest freaking time.
I was just going by, wow, that's a cool intro, but I thought I was going to see some nakedness when it came back.
No. And I like that music. I actually have to pay for that, so I'm not going to redo that.
That's good. I like it.
We were supposed to have one of those at the end of the song.
Anyway, am I the a-hole?
My wife and I have a 2-year-old son, and we've been married for 4 years. Our anniversary was a month ago, and we found a nice, secluded cabin on Airbnb and rented it out for a long weekend getaway. My wife asked her parents if they would be willing to watch our son, and they agreed as long as we dropped him off at their house. That worked out for us since it was on our way anyways. I was raised Lutheran and my wife was raised Catholic, but neither of us currently goes to church and we haven't had our son baptized. My mother-in-law knows this and hates it. She thinks that our son needs to be baptized or he'll burn in hell. She's that kind of Catholic. So we go on our trip, and when we pick up our son and ask how the weekend went, my mother-in-law said everything went fine and that she saved my son's soul from the devil. I asked her what she meant by that, and she says that she had our son baptized that morning at her church. I tried my best to keep my cool so I didn't scream at my mother-in-law in front of my son, but I pretty much grabbed my son and left. On the car ride home, I was fuming and told my wife as calmly as I could that this would be the last time her parents have our son unsupervised. She tried to downplay what her mom had done, but I told her we need to wait until we get home to talk about it because I'm not fighting in front of my kid. When we got home and had a chance to talk about it, things got heated. I told my wife that I no longer trust her parents with our son, and if they did something like this behind our backs, then I can't trust them to respect our wishes as parents in the future. I said this was a huge breach of trust, and I will forever look at her mom differently. She continued to try to defend her mom, saying that she was only doing what she thought was best for her grandson. She even downplayed it, saying it was just a little water and a few words, and we don't go to church anyway, so what does it matter? I told her that under no circumstances will I allow her parents to watch our son by themselves again. I said that we can still let them see their grandson, but only if we're present. I also said that if she doesn't see what the big deal is with the situation, that maybe we aren't on the same page as parents, and maybe we need to go see a counselor. She started crying and said that this isn't the kind of decision I get to make on my own, and I'm a butthole for trying to tell her what kind of relationship her parents can have with our son. I told her that I no longer have any trust or respect for her parents, and that I don't know if there's anything they can do to repair that. I told her I don't care if that makes me a butthole, but what her parents did was unforgivable in my eyes, and they put themselves in this position to lose privileges with our son. She's been trying to convince me to change my mind for the last month, but I'm not budging. To me, this is a hill that I'm willing to die on.
I think my position may have changed.
I don't remember what my position is, but let me explain something real quick and then I'll hand it over to you. So for anybody that's confused about what I said at the beginning about I had this role for the longest time, am I the a-hole? I don't know how I spelled it, but it didn't come out was am I the a-hole? I don't know what it was.
It was I the ass.
I am the a-hole. So I argued with Anna and Tracy for the longest time. Oh no, that's it. No, I spelled it right. No, that's right. And everything else. And then one day, I don't even know what it was. One day I may have looked at a live show just to see if there's some changes that I need to make. And I looked at it and went, the hell did I say? Oh no. Oh no. So that was
it was instead of the A, you had an I. I'm I, the a-hole.
So that was to explain what the first part of it. Diz, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go with what your change was. So,
well, I don't remember my original position, but I can imagine what it would have been, and I won't be a big departure from it. But now I can see kind of like where the wife is coming from a lot more. So, like, yes, betrayal of trust. Okay, but I would ask him: is it that you are anti-religion, or is it that you are just not religious? Because there is a difference. So if he's not religious, then what the grandparents did, it was a betrayal of trust because they overstepped their bounds per se. But in the large scheme of things, it simply doesn't matter. Right? So, I mean, you can continue with your parenting style of teaching your child how to think rationally, how to leverage, how to anchor themselves in science and things that can be proven beyond things that are just fanciful or made up. You can continue to do that and still let the child continue to go to church and allow the child to experience that side of life as well. And that will all actually now give your child the most well-rounded opportunity to chart their own course. Because if you're simply not religious, then you're not saying that I don't want my child to be indoctrinated into religion. I simply don't want someone to do it to them, right? So like for in my case, for example, I am not a religious person, but I owe religion for what has helped me reach the point that I'm at.